Gaurav Tuley adjusted the microphone. His book launch buzzed with excitement. He smiled at the eager faces. They waited, ready for his new thriller. "This book," Gaurav began, "holds a secret." He paused, letting anticipation build. A chapter inspired by a true story. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Gaurav had never shared personal experiences before. His stories were fiction. Or so they thought. "It's about Abramati," he whispered, his gaze turning distant. The room fell silent. Abramati, a village nestled in a valley, beautiful yet shrouded in fear. Locals spoke of it in hushed tones. The valley was fertile, green, life thrived there, but darkness lingered too, a palpable dread. Chandrika, the name sent shivers down their spines. She haunted the valley, they said, a vengeful spirit. No one dared to enter the valley after sunset, especially not the old growth forest at its heart.
A group of college students full of adventure ignored the warnings. They decided to camp in the valley, a decision they would regret. They laughed, sang, told stories around the campfire, oblivious to the danger lurking in the shadows. Then, one by one, they started to disappear, vanishing into thin air, their laughter replaced by terrified screams. Only one returned, driven mad by fear. He babbled about a woman in white, her eyes burning with rage.
Chandrika, a young woman full of life, betrayed by love. She had lived in the village, had loved a man who promised her the world. He left her, broke her heart, drove her to despair. Chandrika was not just any woman. She was the heart and soul of the village cricket team. Her passion for the game was unmatched, and her skills on the field were admired by all. But love, as it often does, clouded her judgment. Unable to bear the pain, she sought solace in the forest. The forest, dense and mysterious, was a place where she often found peace. But this time, it was different. They found her body days later by the old well. The villagers whispered about the well, saying it had a dark history, a place where broken hearts found their end, drowned. Her face frozen in a mask of sorrow and rage. The cricket ball, once a symbol of her joy, now lay submerged in the water, a silent witness to her tragic end. The scoreboard, which once displayed her victories, now seemed to mock her with its emptiness. The well was said to be cursed, and Chandrika's spirit, unable to find peace, remained trapped in the valley. The villagers believed that her spirit roamed the cricket fields at dawn. Her presence felt in the mist that covered the ground. The once lively cricket ground now had an eerie atmosphere, a constant reminder of the tragedy that had befallen their beloved Chandrika.
She had lived in the village, had loved a man who promised her the world. He left her, broke her heart, drove her to despair. The villagers, though saddened by her loss, continued to play cricket, hoping to keep her memory alive. But every sunset, as they walked away from the field, they couldn't shake off the feeling that Chandrika was still with them, watching over the game she loved so dearly.
Section 5, A Glimmer in the Darkness. The stories chilled Gaurav as a child. He grew up hearing them, fascinated and terrified. But Gaurav was drawn to the unknown. He was older now, a writer. He sought out the truth behind the legend. Was it just a story, or was there something more? He visited Abramati, talked to the locals. Their fear was real, palpable. They believed in Chandrika's curse. Gaurav felt it too, a presence in the valley, cold, watching, waiting. Section 6. Whispers on the wind. The forest was alive. Trees swayed, though there was no wind. Whispers seemed to emanate from the undergrowth. Gaurav felt a chill. He was being watched. He could sense it, but by what? He pressed on, deeper into the forest. The air grew colder, heavier. The sunlight struggled to penetrate the dense canopy. He reached the clearing. The well stood there, ancient and menacing, the epicenter of the stories, the heart of the legend. Section 7. The search begins. The missing student, the one who had returned mad with fear, his eyes wide, his breath shallow, he could barely speak. He had spoken of a white cloth, a clue, something that could lead them to the truth. Gaurav searched the area around the well. He moved slowly, carefully, his eyes scanning every inch of the ground. He didn't want to disturb the delicate balance of the forest. Every step was measured, every sound noted, and then he saw it. A glimmer of white amidst the green, a piece of white cloth snagged on a thorny bush. It fluttered slightly in the breeze, faded, torn, but undeniably there. His heart pounded. Was this it? The evidence they had been searching for? Evidence of the missing student? The piece of cloth felt heavy in his hand, laden with the weight of their hopes. Proof that the stories were true. Gaurav's mind raced with possibilities. This could be the breakthrough they needed. Section 8. A chilling discovery. He followed the trail of torn cloth deeper into the forest. The air grew colder, the forest floor damp and spongy beneath his feet. He emerged into another clearing, smaller, darker, and there, lying on the ground, was a backpack, the missing student's backpack. Gaurav's blood ran cold. He unzipped it, his hand shaking. Inside, a notebook, and scribbled on the pages, in hurried, frantic handwriting, a message. She's real, Chandrika is real. Section 9. The legend endures. Gaurav never found the missing student. The forest held its secrets close, but he knew the truth. Chandrika's spirit haunted the valley, trapped by her pain, seeking solace or perhaps revenge. He left Abramati forever changed, haunted by the experience. The valley and its legend had left an indelible mark on his soul. He never forgot the chilling feeling of being watched, the whispers on the wind, the desperate message in the notebook. Section 10. Unsettled ground. Gaurav finished his story. Silence hung heavy in the room, as if the very air had been sucked out. The audience, captivated, sat in stunned silence. He had shared his truth, a truth that was stranger than fiction. His encounter with the supernatural, the haunting tale of Abramati and Chandrika's curse, a story that had been passed down through generations, whispered in hushed tones. The book signing passed in a blur, but Gaurav knew as he signed each copy that his story had left its mark. Each signature was a reminder of the chilling events he had lived through. Abramati would forever be a place of mystery, a place where the veil between the living and the dead was thin, a place where the past and present intertwined in a dance of shadows, a place of fear and wonder, a place where every rustle of the leaves, every whisper of the wind carried the weight of untold stories, a place that would never be forgotten.